yoga and relationships, relationships and yoga. So when I was growing up, I was totally into Star Trek, and I loved Spock and I loved Data. Like, those were my two favorite characters, and I loved how rational they were. Like, I didn't want to be like Kirk, and I didn't want to be like Riker, full of emotion and passion. I wanted to be clear and logical and right about things, which gets us into trouble in terms of our relationships sometimes. So what I've noticed is that oftentimes when there's a conflict or there's something that's challenging, I want to show up in my mind layer with everything that I'm right about. And there's a lot of stories that go on in that layer. See, for thousands of years, yogis have been describing all the different layers and levels of the human experience. And only one of those layers has to do with our mind and thinking and telling all of these stories. Other layers would be like our body, our physicality, our energy, our breath, our higher intuition and insight, and our blissful body. Yogis called these the koshas, or these layers of being that interpenetrate each other and influence each other in our daily lives. So oftentimes when we show up now, our culture has made it so that we're so in our brains and so intellectual that we show up with a lot of words. We show up with a lot of our mind. We show up with a lot of stories. So can we start to acknowledge, recognize that? That's great. But also, can we begin to allow these other layers of our experience to be present? Our body, our breath, our intrinsic sense of wholeness within ourselves. Because when we show up with our whole self into the relationship, rather than just the stories that we've been carrying around, then the moment opens. Then we're more present to what is, rather than what we've been thinking about for the last day, week, month. Invite the whole self into the picture. That's a thought for now. See you on the mat.